Hi, everyone. I'm Renee Lamb, Assistant Professor at Virginia Commonwealth University and owner and founder of Soulier, a social enterprise that focuses on creating luxury artisanal accessories. I'm here with you today to share some of the key insights from a talk that I gave recently at the Saudi Stitch and Text event held in Riyadh in October of 2023. We talked about how to build your fashion brand, where to start, what to look for, where to go. So let's talk about the essentials. If you're building a fashion brand, you have to be able to answer these three questions. First, who are you? How are you uniquely positioned to come into the marketplace and create a splash? What are your key values? What are your key strengths? When you're thinking about answering this question, sit with it and draft out a unique value proposition that tells us why you're wonderful and what you uniquely have to offer to the marketplace. 2, think about who is your customer? What is their unmet need? What do they desire? What problem are you solving for them? A great tool to use here to answer this question is a customer, sometimes called a brand persona. This is a fictitious and somewhat slightly creepy description of your customer, who they are, what they want and need out of life, and why they're coming to your company. 3, you need to be able to answer, what is the brand relationship built upon? This comes back to your brand promise. What do you promise to consistently deliver to your customer every single time they interact with your brand? There's no right or wrong answer here. This answer is going to come out of your reflection on who you are and your research into who your target customer is. Look for the overlaps, and that's where you're going to find your brand promise. When you're thinking about starting a fashion brand, it's important to start simply. Think about this idea of a minimum viable, whatever it is. So, creating a minimum viable business plan. A great tool here is a business model canvas. You can find many templates for this online. Think about, how are you going to fulfill your customer's unmet need? In a business model canvas, in one page, you can tell us about your key customer relationships, your key partners, your cost structure, how you're going to create revenue. Again, what's your unique value proposition? Think about getting the most important things down on paper, keeping it simple, and don't get bogged down in having to create a big elaborate report. Think about creating a minimum viable brand. This means getting clear on what are the most essential elements that you need to get your brand up and running. Maybe it's a website, maybe it's an Instagram page, maybe it's a YouTube channel. Whichever thing you identify, think about starting, as we say, above the fold. Don't spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on website development when there are plenty of platforms that are much less expensive that allow you to create a beautiful, simple website quickly and with less monetary input. So, how can you start creating those brand elements that are super essential to you and your customer, and doing them in the most cost-effective and simple way possible? Think about minimum viable product. What is the simplest version of your product that you can create and get out into the marketplace? The sooner you get your product out into the marketplace, the sooner you can get feedback from your customer. You can take that feedback to iterate, change, pivot, adapt, and make your product even better and even more profitable. Start simply so that you can start quickly. Remember, starting simply allows you to gather that customer feedback and then adapt and expand as your customer sees fit. And no matter where you start your fashion brand or how you start your fashion brand, it's important to remember that a fashion brand is an ever-evolving relationship between the company and the customer. As you're thinking about your unique value proposition and who you are, get really clear on what values are non-negotiable for you and your company. And then on everything else, be willing to negotiate, go back to the drawing board, pivot and change as your customer requests and asks. That's it. Thank you for listening. Those are my essentials for creating a fashion brand. I hope this was helpful to you. If you'd like more information, reach out to me anytime at my email here on this slide, or you can always catch me online at reneelam.com. Thanks so much.